Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 5th race in the chase for the championship, also the 31st race of Season 5 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. After this race, we have only 5 races left of not only the chase, but of the whole season, and it's going to be epic, starting with this race. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Cracker Barrel 400 at North Carolina Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. This is the first time ever we are going to be going to this racetrack, and depending on how the racing here is going to be, we're going to see what's going to happen with this race here at this racetrack. But anyways, let's take a look and see how the point standings look coming into this race as far as in the chase goes. Charles Sanford has a 7-point lead over rookie William Duncan. Third in points, a total of 12 points out, is Chris Washer. Fourth, a total of 14 points out, is Preston Plord. Fifth, a total of 16 points out, is Joshua Collard. Sixth, a total of 20 points out, is Michael Norman. Seventh, a total of 26 points out, is Sonny Hammond. Eighth, a total of 36 points out, is our pole setter for this race, Dorian Facepuncher. Ninth, a total of 54 points out, is Matt McIntyre. And starting with Matt McIntyre are guys that desperately need to get some good runs going if they definitely want to stay in the hunt for the championship. 10th, a total of 59 points out, is Danny Wells. 11th, on a total of 65 points out, is Jesse Setti. 12th, a total of 69 points out, is David Rivera. And then these two are the real desperate drivers who need to get good runs. 13th, a total of 86 points out, is Cole Daly. And 14th, a total of 88 points out, is Jessica Shelton. So with that being said, as you see your starting lineup on the top of your screen, let's take a quick look at who's starting in the top 10. Dorian Facepuncher on the pole, with Chris Washer in second. Third, Rue McIntyre. Fourth, Chase Oliver. Fifth, Chris Thomas. Sixth, Dylan Thoreau. Seventh, Matt McIntyre. Eighth, Austin Weiner. Ninth, Mitchell Riggs. 10th is Ian Dutta. Who knows how the racing here is going to be, because this is the first time we are here in Rockingham, North Carolina at North Carolina Speedway. So this is going to be an interesting race here. 59 laps, boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys and girls. And Dorian Facepuncher already with a huge lead, a big good lead margin between himself and Chris Washer, who is in second. But now here comes Chase Oliver, who wants to get to that spot for himself, but the high line looks like the high line is the better line, but Washer is coming in quick, but Facepuncher led lap number 1. But Facepuncher is coming in hot on Facepuncher for the lead. And those two are chase drivers, the 5 and the 15. So who knows what's going to happen. I guess either line seems to work, high or low. It just depends on how much speed you can carry off the corners and just go for it. Right now we got this battle for third as Dylan Thoreau was thinking about going underneath Chase Oliver, but Oliver's going to go for a crossover move to try to go low underneath Chris Washer, but will it work? It doesn't. I guess from the looks of it right now here in the early goings, let's see the test of theory here. It looks like the low line works in 1 and 2, but in 3 and 4, it's the high line that seems to work here in this early run. But then again, this is just the beginning of the race, and it's a long way to go. It's 59 laps of racing with 55 to go. Dorian Facepuncher in the lead of this race. Battle raging on for third as Dylan Thoreau trying to come underneath Austin Weiner, but Austin Weiner, he's got a strong Highline car, and now here he comes down low for second. Will he be able to make the move down low is the question, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to at the moment. Washer trying to use the low line to get by Face Puncher here, and he's low enough to him to where he might be able to make a move potentially, but Face Puncher with that high line is going to be able to pull ahead a little bit over the 5 car. Already a ton of shuffling going on all over the field. Once we get around lap 11, we'll take a look and see where our chasers currently run. Oh, but I might have to get hold off because I think a caution might be out. And indeed it is out. Caution is out for the first time today. Who was in it? Oh, chaser Joshua Collard was in it. And James Qualls got a piece of whatever this was. But for the most part, it looked like just an incident between those 2 cars. Yeah, you can definitely see damage on James Qualls' machine, so it looked like an incident involving Qualls and Collard. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at North Carolina. Well, this wreck looked like it was almost a domino effect kind of thing. Daniel Day is going to come up into his teammate Kendall Maynard, down into Joshua Collard and Stephen Pollard III, and then Joshua Collard back up the track into James Qualls, and then Collard goes for a slide, and he had to teleport out of pit road. I think that might have done it for him, although I think he might be able to continue. I think the problem was he just couldn't get off of, I guess he couldn't get going on that apron, so they had to teleport him to pit road. And right there, the pace car came out. So with that said, let's go back to the restart here at North Carolina. Well, after that first caution, Joshua Collard did in fact retire from the race. So, tough break for Joshua Collard, who wanted to get a good run to get up higher in the point standings. But with that said, Dorian Facepuncher is the leader. Second is Chris Washer. Third is Austin Weiner. Fourth, Ian Dutta. Fifth, Matt McIntyre. Sixth, Chase Oliver. Seventh, Dylan Thoreau. Eighth, Cody Lamas. Ninth, Trent Dunham. 10th is Charles Jackson. As far as our chasers go, Preston Plord is in 14th. Sonny Hammond in 19th. Jessica Sheldon 21st. William Duncan 24th. Charles Sanford 25th. Danny Wells 27th. Jesse Setti 31st. Michael Norman 32nd. David Rivera 36th. Cole Dowley 37th. And Joshua Collard in dead last. But anyways, we're going to get back to racing here at Rockingham, North Carolina. Green flag is back out. Now we pretty much saw in that first green flag run, the high line seems to be the preferred line here for the most part. Some cars maybe might be able to make the low line work depending on if they've got a faster car or not. And right there in that case, the high line didn't really work for Chris Washer. Either that or he got a little bit tighter, a little bit loose. And yeah, indeed, the high line definitely seems to be the line to run here at this track. Chase Oliver thinking about maybe trying to get the low line going, but again, that high line just seems to be too strong at the moment. Right now, Chris Washer just still right on the back bumper of Facepuncher. If he wants to make a move, he needs to jump up to the high line going into 3 here and try to make that move, but he's not really able to do that at the moment. Right now, as we are looking around the racetrack for everything that's going down, and right back here, 3 wide it was for a second, and it sells out to single file right there. Chase Oliver going to run up high to try to get something going up there. Ian Dutta was thinking about going low underneath of Austin Weiner, but Weiner got that high line and he's going to keep the position. Meanwhile, Chris Washer just hasn't been able to shake around Dorian Face Puncher at the moment in this race, as he's just running a little bit lower than Face Puncher. But with that said, Face Puncher's just able to keep momentum up higher on the groove of the racetrack where all that rubber's down. And whoa, we got a wreck! Ian Dutta just got turned, and I think more cars may have gotten collected. Who was that right there? Was that Dutta again? Yeah, it was Dutta. Huge smoke cloud on the backstretch, and Trent Dunham goes to pit road. He might have gotten involved in whatever this was. Oh, and now we got a follow-up wreck. Preston Plord and Sonny Hammond have crashed. Same with Jecko 9. A lot of cars back there getting piled in here. Oh, be careful, guys. Careful, careful. Good job. Man, oh man, what a fustercluck that was. And now the leader, along with the rest of the field's coming in the pit road. Could be for pit strategy, because I think they may have to pit another time later on in the race. And forgive me, it's actually the Subway 400, not the Cracker Barrel 400. I apologize. We're going to see who's got the faster pit crew here at this racetrack, at this little over 1 mile racetrack. Drew McIntyre, who started third, he's got the third pit stall, and he's been floundering towards the back this whole entire race. And is Austin Weiner actually going to be the leader now? Because he just went flooring past Face Puncher. I think Austin Weiner might be the new leader. I think he barely outbeat Dorian Face Puncher out of pit road. Who knows? We'll find out when we get back to the restart. No, it looks like Face Puncher still going to be the leader, but Austin Weiner manages to get to second, so we'll see how that's going to work. But anyways, let's go back and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the second time today here at North Carolina. Well, it looks like Ian Dutta thought he was clear of Dylan Thoreau, but Thoreau was just still right there, and that forces the 66 to go for a spin. And all right there is where Trent Dunham gets involved. That's how he had to go to pit road. That's not a good thing for Trent Dunham, who was hoping to come away with his second win of the season, potentially. But now we go up here, skip ahead to this incident involving two chasers, Sonny Hammond, Preston Plord. As they are slowing down, Sonny Hammond's going to flat out turn Preston Plord. I don't think Plord's going to be too happy with the 17, and Plord hits that outside wall really hard and right in front of Jecko Knight. And then cars pile into each other as they try to avoid everything, and Jessica Sheldon's end up going to get a buckle on her hood. That was not what she needed. And then all the other cars trying to stop in time to avoid getting into the back of somebody and damaging their cars. But with that said, let's go back to the restart here at Rockingham. Well, after that second caution, we actually have two cars out of the race, and they are Ian Dutta and Trent Dunham, unless they're coming their way up through the field. Yes, they are, so they're still a lap down, but are going to continue. Anyways, Dorian Face Puncher is the leader. Second is Austin Weiner. Third, Chris Washer. Fourth, Alex Hawkins. Fifth, Chase Oliver. Sixth, Kyle Matthews. Seventh, Dylan Thoreau. Eighth, James McLeod. Ninth, Sonny Hammond. 10th, Charles Jackson. And then the rest of the chasers, Matt McIntyre in 13th. Danny Wells 21st. Jesse Setti 22nd. Jessica Sheldon 23rd. William Duncan 24th. Preston Plord 26th. Charles Sanford 28th. Michael Norman 30th. David Rivera 31st. And Cole Daly in 38th. And then Joshua Collard, the only car out of the race from anything that's happened here. Green flag back out here in Rockingham. Dorian Face Puncher gets off to a nice jump on that restart, but so too did Austin Weiner, and Weiner might think about maybe trying the low line to maybe go for the lead. And here he comes. Is it going to work, though? I don't think it will, but we'll see if the low line is going to start kicking in here in this race. So he kind of made it work, but Face Puncher was able to carry more speed out of that corner to keep that position. And oh man, back there with Trent and Ian back there, we got to keep an eye on this. This could end pretty badly if nothing's settled right. And there goes Seth Cole. Oh, and Mitchell Riggs has crashed. Seth Cole spun. Oh, and Preston Plord was in it. A chaser, Stephen Plord III, Jekko Knight, Joshua Michaels. And I'm sure there may be more that were involved. Jessie Setti actually has a buckle on her hood. I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen considering where they were with Trent and Ian Dutta. That it wasn't going to end well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay of what brought the caution out for the third time here at Rockingham. Well, they were running 4 wide right there, and then that's definitely not going to work. And, oh, we'll take a look at Mitchell Riggs right there in just a moment. But, yeah, Seth Cole, yeah, did get hit by Jessie Setti. Then Joshua Michaels, Preston Plord, and Jekko Knight all crash into each other. And then Stephen Pollard III and Daniel Day all come flying in there. Watch as Daniel Day tries to get through it. Oh, he hits Preston Plord first and then Jekko Knight. And that immediately got his car to be destroyed. And then Stephen Pollard III misses Seth Cole. And then, as Preston Plord was coming back down, Pollard just tags him and sideswipes him. And look at the smoke coming out. That determines that he's going to be having engine problems. And I think at that moment, Mitchell Riggs immediately retired. No, there he is. He's just on pit road. We've got to see what happens with him because he's an innocent victim of this. And watch this hit he's going to take. Driver's side first into the edge of the pit wall. That is a scary hit for any driver to get hit right in the driver's side door into the edge of the pit wall. No matter what, if it's a direct hit or a side hit, that is not where you want to get hit at. Let's actually go to the helicopter camera for this. Kind of got the side, but it also looked like it got the left rear wheel and damaged the axle up. So yeah, you can definitely tell Riggs is definitely out of the race. No way he could come back from that. But with that said, let's go back to the restart here at Rockingham. Well, after that last caution, we have several cars out of the race, and they are Preston Plord, Stephen Pollard III, Daniel Day, and Mitchell Riggs as they join Joshua Collard. But during that time looking at the replay, some cars pitted, some stayed out. So the new leader, for the first time in this race, we have a new leader, and that's Austin Weiner. Second, Chris Washer. Third, Alex Hawkins. Fourth, Chase Oliver. Fifth, Kyle Matthews. Sixth, James McLeod. Seventh, Charles Jackson. Eighth, Rue McIntyre. Ninth, Matt McIntyre. 10th is Cody Lamas. As far as chasers go, Sonny Hammond in 12th, Danny Wells in 13th, William Duncan 17th, Charles Sanford 18th, Dorian Facepuncher back to 19th, David Rivera in 26th, Cole Daly 27th, Michael Norman 29th, Jessica Sheldon 30th, Jessie Setti 31st, Preston Plord 38th, and then Joshua Collard dead last. Green flag back out with 31 laps to go. We might as well go back there to the one of Trent Dunham and the 66 of Dutta because what we saw in that last caution whenever those two were slow, they tried to go 4 wide. Oh, don't try it again. Okay, there we go. And Rue McIntyre is going to get the edge out of that because he's going to go by all those cars to stay in the 8th position. And did I just hear tires squeal? I I thought I heard tires squeal. We'll take a look at that, see if a caution's out. No, we're still green. I guess I was just hearing things again. I guess they're going to be okay for now. Meanwhile, back up at the front, it is still all Austin Weiner in the lead. But those top 18, I think, stayed out. Excuse me. On that last caution. So we're going to see what's going to happen here throughout the rest of the race. If cars have to pit again, or are they going to try to stretch it? And I will say, if they try to stretch it, it's going to be very, very tough. Excuse me. Meanwhile, the laps are winding down here at North Carolina, Rockingham, North Carolina that is. Austin Weiner with a nice lead over Chris Washer, who is the highest of the chasers at the current moment of this race. And he's got his teammate Kyle Matthews right behind him. So right now, and also with Cody Lamas in ninth, you have 3 out of the 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars running in the top 10. The only one that's not up there is Cole Daly, who is a chaser. He's all the way in the back of the pack. Where is he? Oh, there he is, right there. He was last scored in 25th. So far with this race being clean and green for a little bit, what kind of racing are we going to see throughout, as it's now going to be 24 to go here at North Carolina Speedway. Or better yet known as Rockingham, but then again, we're after this race and another race after that, we're going to be heading to Rockingham, UK for a chase race. Right now, let's take a look and see how the field looks after this little green flag run we've had going. Austin Weiner is the leader. Second is Chris Washer. Third is Kyle Matthews. Fourth, Charles Jackson. Fifth, James McLeod. Sixth is Alex Hawkins. Seventh, Chase Oliver. Eighth, Rue McIntyre. Ninth, Cody Lamas. 10th. Excuse me. 10th is Chris Thomas. 11th is Matt McIntyre. 12th, Danny Wells. 13th, Brandon Gonzalez. 14th, Dylan Young. 15th, Sonny Hammond. 16th, William Duncan. 17th, Brandon Nichols. 18th, Charles Sanford. 19th, Dorian Facepuncher. 20th is Jackie Tang. 21st is David Rivera. 22nd, Anthony McCrory. 23rd, Joshua Balkin. 24th, Joshua Michaels. 25th is Cole Daly. 26th, Jessica Sheldon. 27th, Michael Norman. 28th, James Qualls. 29th, Dylan Thoreau. 30th is Seth Cole. 31st, Jesse Setti. 32nd, Kendall Maynor. 33rd, PJ Williams. 34th, Sean Galligan. 35th, Ian Dutta. And 36th is Trent Dunham. 35th, Jacko Knight, with 36 and 37 being Dutta and Trent respectively. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner still leads. Excuse me. I apologize. My throat's just a little bit kind of weird at the moment. Anyways, Austin Weiner still with a near 3/10 lead over Chris Washer. But then again, like I said, the top 18 have yet to pit. And they need to pit if they're going to end up making it the rest of the way on gas. Unless they all did pit, but some went with just fuel only or 2 tires and the rest going with 4 tires. I'm not sure. I never did get a chance to look at what happened. during the replay of the last caution to see what was going on pit road. But aside from that, as we come to the stripe, it'll be 16 to go here at Rockingham. So if they do end up making one more pit stop, they should be good to go for the rest of the race as far as fuel goes. And I see Face Puncher is still back in 19th, so not really too much going on as far as getting positions so much. It's really just becoming all about trying to find a way to get around your guy in front of you, but you can't because you don't want to go up too high and end up getting loose and going for a spin. Meanwhile, Matt McIntyre thinking about going for a move up high for the 7th spot over Chris Thomas. And he's a chaser who definitely needed to get a good run if he wanted to get back up higher in points to get into more contention for the championship. Meanwhile, with the leader right now, Austin Weiner, up at the front, he wants to get his first win of the season bad, and I think a caution might be out again. And indeed it is out, but for what? An incident seemed to have happened through the front stretch, but I don't see any cars damaged or off the pace. Maybe it could have been Cole Daly who could have went for that spin. I'm not too sure. We'll find out here in just a moment, but first we're going to keep an eye out, see if these guys are coming in the pit road or not. Nobody elected to come in. I guess they're going to try and stretch it out. We'll find out as we go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the 4th time today here at Rockingham after a really good green flag run we had. And just as I thought, it was Cole Daly who brought the caution out. His same thing happened with Ian Dutta earlier, ironically with the same driver. Cole Daly thought he could get clear of Dylan Thoreau, but it just didn't work that way, and he ends up getting into the wall a little bit and going for a spin past the start-finish line, and as a result of that, the caution came out. Man, Cole Daly has just not really been able to get a good run going here in the chase, and unless he can get on a rocket roll here in the next 5 races, I think it's maybe safe to say he might be eliminated from the championship as far as runs and math, depending on how everybody else does after this. But we'll see what happens as we go back to the restart here at Rockingham. Well, after that last caution, no cars retired out of the race. When we come to the stripe, it'll be 9 laps to go here at North Carolina Speedway, Rockingham. Austin Weiner is the leader. 2nd is Chris Washer. 3rd is Kyle Matthews. 4th, Charles Jackson. 5th, James McLeod. 6th is Alex Hawkins. 7th, Matt McIntyre. 8th, Chris Thomas. 9th, Cody Lamas. 10th, Chase Oliver. As far as the rest of the chasers, Danny Wells is in 12th. William Duncan in 14th. Dorian Facepuncher 17th. Sonny Hammond in 18th. Charles Sanford 19th. David Rivera 21st. Michael Norman, no idea what just happened there. Oh, that was a big fail on my part. Big botch here for me here in the Walmart Cup Series. We skipped ahead 3 laps. But let's just pretend that didn't happen. Green flag back out. Michael Norman 26th. Jessica Sheldon 28th. Jesse Setti 30th. Cole Daly 32nd. Preston Blord 38th. And then Joshua Collard in dead last. I apologize for that, but I don't think that'll mean much considering we still got a nice long way to go after lap 53. I'm so sorry for that. But Austin Weiner still is up at the front as the chasers who are still in the top 10 are Chris Washer and Matt McIntyre. Those are the only chasers currently in the top 10 at the moment, so those two are going to get the most to gain in this championship battle, particularly Chris Washer, as he might be the new points leader going into the next race of the chase. Don't know where it's going to be at the moment in my head, but still, there you go. And I see Matt McIntyre going on the move up high to get into the top 5 to get in the 5th, and it looks like he's going to do it. So Matt McIntyre trying to go for position on track, and now he's trying to go low for 4th, but that ain't going to really work at the moment because remember, Highline seems to get the best run in every corner. I don't know if these guys ended up having the pit at all during the last couple cautions, but if they're close on fuel, it's going to be interesting as it's 5 laps to go here at Rockingham, and Austin Weiner has been one of the 2 dominant cars of the race. If he can win, he would get the most laps led bonus points clinched. Due to Dorian Facepuncher, he only led, I believe, the first 26 or 27, and then ended up falling back due to either pit strategy or not a good enough pit stop. I'm not too sure as to what happened with the 15 of Facepuncher. Joshua Michaels ended up going into pit road. That could be a sign for these cars to have to pit, so it's going to be interesting to see if they have to pit or not here in the next lap or so. 3 laps to go here at Rockingham. Right back here, we got a potential battle for 2nd with teammates Kyle Matthews and Chris Washer. Matt McIntyre up to 4th. Matt McIntyre seems to be a man on a mission right now, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get to the lead because Austin Weiner's just got a nice cushion between himself and 2nd place. And we are coming to take the white flag, so if a caution comes out now, the race would be over. White flag is out. The only chasers in the top 10 are Washer and McIntyre, with Wells and Facepuncher just barely on the outside of that. In turn 3, getting ready to come off of turn 4 for the final time to break his winless streak. Austin Weiner gets his first win of Season 5 and the 10th win, so he breaks a new record. He broke the 3-way tie again and had become the first driver in Walmart Cup Series history to get into double digits in the wins career brackets. Austin Weiner wins the Subway 400 at North Carolina Speedway. As we go ahead and take a look at the rest of the results, Austin Weiner pretty much during the second half of the race became the dominant car. Led every lap after that 2nd caution, I believe, and is going to come away with the victory. Chris Washer, who finishes 2nd, great job for him. So I think due to that, he is potentially going to be the new points leader. I do think so, depending on where Charles Sanford finished. But Kyle Matthews gets a much needed good finish, a 3rd. Solid performance for him. Matt McIntyre, the 2nd highest of the chasers. He definitely needed that run as he came in 54 out of the points lead. I think he is still going to be pretty much a good margin out, but I think he's going to get a lot more on a few other drivers to where he could end up potentially getting back in the hunt. And James McLeod, solid run in 5th. Charles Jackson gets a great run of 6th. Alex Hawkins, solid 7th place finish. Chris Thomas, it's been a while since we talked about him finishing top 10 as he comes away in 8th. Cody Lamas, solid 9th. And Chase Oliver rounding out the top 10. Great run for him. Rest of the top 20, Danny Wells, Dorian Facepuncher, Brandon Gonzalez, Brandon Nichols, Rue McIntyre, Sonny Hammond, William Duncan, Charles Sanford. So yes, officially, Chris Washer is going to be the new points leader going into the next race. Jackie Tang, Dylan Young rounds out the top 20, then the top 30. David Rivera, Anthony McCurry, James Qualls, Michael Norman, Joshua Balkin, Jessica Shelton, Jesse Setti, Cole Daly, Kendall Maynard, Dylan Thoreau, and then the rest of the lead lap cars, P.J. Williams, Sean Galligan, and Jecko Knight. Next 4 ended up finishing 1 or more laps down. Seth Cole, Ian Dutta, Trent Dunham, and Joshua Michaels. Everybody else was out of the race after that, after many wrecks. Preston Plord, Stephen Pollard III, Daniel Day, Mitchell Riggs, and Joshua Collard. That does it for our coverage today here at Rockingham, North Carolina. As we move forward in the chase, as the first half of it's concluded, second half shall begin when we get back to Pocono, and then Rockingham, UK, Talladega, Kansas, and Armory Digital. That's the rest of the races we have left this season. Until then, this is Levi McIntyre showing you your results, rookie points, chase points, and regular points heading into that race, and I'm officially out.